Businesses all across the planet are looking to make connections with people. Well, guess what? Divine Connections magazine is helping businesses not only walk in their purpose and passion, but to get connected to their potential. That's right. You've got to connect to your potential, and you can make it happen now because it is time to know your worth. As you get connected to people all across the planet, Divine Connections magazine will make it happen. And get featured in the magazine today and get your copy now, because there's no other time than a divine time to get connected to Divine Connections magazine.
I Give You Peace Ministries is on a mission with an awesome purpose, led by Pastor Peace. Their mission is to raise funds to build a multi-purpose building, which will include a state-of-the-art facility for youth in the community, a senior program that will include various activities, and it will also include a kitchen to provide meals to the community. Support the building fundraiser today. Donate to Cash App $Walk of Peace or paypal.me/IGYP Ministries.
Hello, this is gospel recording artist Johnny Ruffin Jr. from Lewiston, North Carolina, just letting you know that I have a Christmas CD out entitled White Christmas. Please go and download that CD on any digital media outlet. Also, I have some great gospel music that I have created throughout the years that will definitely be a blessing to you and your household. Thank you for your support. God bless.
Great day, everyone. This is Deloris. Hope all is well. Welcome, everyone. Divine Connection is a magazine that comes out quarterly. It's faith-based and inspirational. We connect with different businesses, entrepreneurs, gospel artists, praise dance, moms, anyone that's doing something great in the community. So I would love for you to be a part. So if you are in any of those areas, make sure you stay connected with me and let me know who you are. And also, if you would like to be on this platform and do an interview as well, that opportunity is available. So you can text 336-338-8903 or email me at divineconnectionsmagazine@gmail.com. All right, so let's get into some Divine Connections news. How do you stay connected? Go to our website at divineconnectionsmagazine.com, and there you can join our email list. That way you can get information of what's going on with the interviews, with the events, or anything that Divine Connection has going on, and then what is next. We also have our Facebook page as well. If you would, go and like that page at Divine Connections Marketing. We're also on Instagram at Divine Connections, and that's one word. And then you can also please subscribe to our YouTube channel at The Divine Connections, and make sure you also click that notification button as well to stay connected. Next on our agenda is, if you would like to get your copy of Divine Connections magazine, this is our quarterly issue that just came out, and so I would love for you to get a copy. Make sure you go to divineconnectionsmagazine.com/subscriptions. Hard copies are 12, digital copies are 6, and I would love for you to get a copy. There are a lot of great things in the magazine that you can see, different connections, different people you can call, different resources, different events. So you want to make sure you get a copy of Divine Connections magazine, okay? Next on our agenda is, if you would like to be a sponsor, if you have a 30-second commercial, we would love for you to be on this broadcast, and we can have that on before or after our interview, so people can know who you are and what you do. And then we'll run that for 3 months for $150, so people can continue to see your brand, who you are, your services, your products, and get connected with you. Again, you can email me at divineconnectionsmagazine@gmail.com if you would like to be a sponsor. Now, if you need a 30-second or 60-second commercial for your business, for your ministry, for your book, for your gospel group, or anything that you're doing for your event, we would love to create a cutting edge 30-second commercial for you. Again, email me at divineconnectionsmagazine@gmail.com. And we have a book that just came out. My book just came out. So it is The Key Connector, How to Build an Empire Helping People. And so those they're inside our strategies on how I've built my empire with divine connections and throughout my life. And also with the help of the Lord, just some strategies that maybe you can use to build yours as well. Building relationships is number one. Okay. And then we go into a lot of more detail in the book. So get the book. It's on Amazon as well. You can go to the website below. And then if you want to contact me, you can purchase from me directly and get a signed copy as well. Okay. So it's called The Key Connector, How to Build an Empire Helping People. All right. Awesome. 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 And last but not least, the my next event, you guys, is going to be my 12th magazine anniversary. It is going to be Saturday, March 26th in Haw River, North Carolina. Okay. And so with that, we're going to have speakers, we're going to have vendors, we're going to have gospel groups as well. Again, that's Saturday, March 26th in Haw River, North Carolina. That's right close to Burlington off exit 150. Okay. And there are 3 ways in order for you to attend. And then one of the major things I'm doing is celebrating women. My goal is to celebrate 100 women. That's my goal. Okay. And then so in order for you to attend, there's 3 different ways you can do that. All right. So one is attend and be celebrated. You will be featured in the magazine. That's $45 for a ticket. Okay. And then the second way is you can become a sponsor. You may be here, you may not be here, but you still want to celebrate with us and brand your business along as we continue to push out information about Divine Connections and the event as well. We would love for you to be a part. You may have a resource that's great for women as well. So you can be a sponsor. We'll give details on that. Just text or email me. And then we have vendors as well. Now, I will tell you, most of the vendor spots are full, so I may have just a couple more left if you want to be a vendor. Okay. So definitely contact me and we will discuss all the details. If you want to go ahead and purchase a ticket, if you want to sponsor somebody and say somebody's doing awesome, as long as they can get there to the event and you want to pay for their ticket, you can do that as well. Okay. All right. So that's $45 for the ticket. All right. You go to the website at divineconnectionsmagazine.com/events. And you have any questions, again, you can contact me at 336-338-8903. or email me at Divine Connections Magazine. All right. So that is our Divine Connections news. And now I am so excited to have my special guest for today, Dr. Farabee. And we're going to bring her in and see what she brings to the community. Great day. How are you?
How are you?
I'm great.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited.
Oh, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. Well, thank you. So let's get into it. So tell the audience a little bit about yourself and where you're from.
Well, my name is Euvonka Farabee. I am a life elevation coach and strategist. I'm a speaker and an author. I have a television show called Beyond the Shackles. And I am also a prison chaplain. So I have a nonprofit called Beyond the Shackles as well. And we focus on instilling hope in the incarcerated, disenfranchised, and their families. And so my coaching practice is really around helping people navigate the difficult terrain of adversity. So I've dealt with people from all different walks of life, but my focus in recent times is to focus on people who have maybe experienced some loss, some challenges, want to retool, redirect. And I have a group coaching program that I've developed called Rewrite Your Life Story, so that it gives you the tools that you need, not only to reroute yourself, but to rise up and come up with a very clear, definitive plan that you can walk out for your great success.
I love that. Rewrite your plan. That's awesome. Because
Yes.
we go through different things in life, and then as we progress, things change. It seems like every 10 years, kind of sort of, you go through stages of life, and then you make decisions whenever you make them, and then you deal with the results of the consequences, and
Absolutely.
maybe you want to do something different, or make a wiser decision, or connect with mentors, or different things like that.
Hmm.
So I'm definitely excited about it. So what initiated this organization?
Well, I'd like to say,
Mhm.
there's all kind of. It's interesting because I was teaching this at six
Mhm.
o'clock in the morning
Oh,
for
wow.
some folks, and education is great. I love education. I love learning, but there is nothing like the school of hard knocks.
Mm,
And what happened with me is I did everything that everyone had asked me to do
mhm,
growing up, and I went to college,
mhm.
and I got this corporate job because everybody was like, "Get you a corporate job and some benefits, and
Yeah.
you got a pension and all that good stuff."
Mhm,
And the problem was, because what happened, I was a business major and I got hired on with an engineering organization,
mhm,
and everybody was proud of me. Everybody, my mother couldn't be more proud, but I hated that place. Ooh,
mm,
and it wasn't that the place was so bad. I just did at this time, and in these days in the early '90s. Well, there wasn't as much talk about understanding your purpose and going after your passion and all that. It was about getting a great job and get some stability and get you some benefits.
mhm.
And I got at this place in this engineering organization. And the thing was, I was terrible at the job too. I'm no engineer, let me tell you. And God was even faithful to me even in there. I ended up promoting very quickly on that job, ironically, because of my people skills
Mhm,
and navigating all the moving parts, of a project based upon what I understood about the people.
mhm.
So that was a way to get me out of the lab and just have me assist with the project of communication and communicating with our internal customers as well as external ones. But while I was in this situation, I remember going to tell my mom. I went to my mom's house, and education was always very important to my mom. She wanted to go to college when she was younger, but a lot of things transpired that it just wasn't be for her. So she wanted her kids to go to school. So I did that, and she wanted us to get good jobs, and she thought, well, this is it. So, but I went to her house and I said, Mom, I got to do something different. I'm gonna have to quit this job. I'm gonna have to find something that's suited for me. I don't know what to say, know what I want to do, but it can't be this. And my mother was mortified. And
Oh,
she was
wow.
like, Listen, you know, uh, don't you quit that good job. You're going to hate every job you get. It's work. That's why they
Mhm.
call it work.
Right.
You get out there and get them folks to pay you as much as you can get them to pay you.
Mhm.
And so I listened to her. That's, what I did. And thank God, my mom, even at 83, we know better now. But,
Yeah.
at the time it was like, okay, let me roll my sleeves back up and get in here. And I
Mhm.
eventually switched and I got into sales. I was in pharmaceutical sales, equipment sales. I did a lot of different kind of sales and that was better suited for me, but I still was empty. And I'm gonna
Mm,
tell you, I was vacant because I had entrepreneurial aspirations. I
mhm.
wanted to be on my own and I wanted to make a mark. And I
Mm,
didn't know how to put all that together.
yeah.
But what happened, I ended up, like many people, I ended up in that six-figure income bracket, and I had a certain life. I had a certain a thing that I was just thoroughly convinced that I couldn't live without, and I couldn't
Mhm,
figure out how to maintain all that and keep it the same, and still, take a
mhm.
chance to do something different. So what did
Yeah.
I do? I stuck my head in the sand and hope for the best.
Mhm.
And how many of you know if you don't do something with life, life will do something with
Ooh,
you? So I
yes, yes.
had no life plan. I had no definitive life plan. So when
Mhm,
the economy struck in 2008, I lost
mhm.
my six-figure job that I thought I could not live without.
Yeah.
At the time, I was married for about 10 or 12 years, somewhere around that. That was already hitting the skids, and so that
Mhm,
didn't help. So that was over. And I
mhm.
found myself, you know, and at one point in this, I found myself with no job and no marriage, and I had no plan. So I operated in fear. And instead of responding to an adverse situation, I reacted. So
Mhm.
my reaction was, I know now I'm going to do what I want to do. I'm going to start this business. And I started an insurance agency. I took my severance, I took my retirement,
Mm,
everything that I had, and I put into this agency. Not a single customer when I opened my doors. And did I didn't mention I know nothing about insurance. So as you can guess, this didn't necessarily go well.
Uh-huh.
And I had that agency for 7 years. It was 7 years of toil.
Mm.
But at the end of the day, what ended up happening is I found myself having to lay off every employee that I had. I didn't have a dime to my name. And
Mm-hmm.
I was facing eviction, not only in my business location, but where I lived.
Oh, wow.
And um, at that, I even had one incident, I'll tell you very briefly, that had me change everything. It changed. It was the worst of times. It ended up being the best of times. But I
Mm-hmm.
had some relatives that called me. I'm from Chicago, and I hadn't seen these relatives in a few years, and they heard about my office. They wanted to see it, and I wasn't really in any condition to host anyone. But
Mm-hmm.
against my better judgment, I said, sure, come on and see my office. And nobody knew how bad I was doing because I didn't advertise it to my family. I just kept it to
Right.
myself and it suffered in silence.
Right.
So they came, and of all the times, I'm going to tell you, we're sitting there catching up on old times, and I forgot I didn't lock my front door to my
Mm.
office. And at
Mm-hmm.
7:30 at night, a process server came in and served me a 30-day notice to vacate in front of my entire family.
Oh, wow.
Let me tell you something. If the ground could have opened and swallowed me up in that moment, I would have welcomed it. That would have been all good for me. But I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to tell you what I want you to derive from what I'm telling you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It made me willing to do what I hadn't been willing to do all along, and that was to let everything go.
Mm.
Stop trying to keep all the balls in the air. Stop trying to keep stuff the same.
That's good.
I let
Mm-hmm.
it all roll downhill. Let the chips fall where they may. But when the dust cleared on everything, I didn't recognize anything about my life. I
Mm.
didn't, nothing was familiar to me.
Mm.
And that was exactly where God wanted me. He wanted
Wow.
me at that place where I had an ear to hear. Now, I'm going to tell you, he was faithful. I was not evicted from both places, but even, I'm going to tell you how close I came. My home, my apartment where I live,
Mm-hmm.
I came about, maybe 9 days before I was going to be put out.
Mm-hmm.
And I was able, I went from, and I owned a house with a north facing view on the hill,
Mm.
and with divorce and the economy and everything, was sold in a down market. We made zero money. When I say it was busted down to the brass tacks, I'm not kidding you. I went from
Mm-hmm.
that to renting a room in a crime infested neighborhood.
Mm.
And that is where God was able to meet me because I was
Wow.
open. At that point, I was out of moves. I was out
Yeah.
of moves.
Yeah. Yeah.
But what he showed me in that, he showed me how
Mhm.
to build my life and look at all of that rubble that I had. And that's what
Mhm.
I say. He taught me how to rise up from the rubble. And
Yeah.
and this is what my program ended up deriving from. I had to rebuild. And
Mhm.
when I rebuilt, I built it on what I believe was the foundation of what God would have me build it on instead of my plans.
Mhm.
And before I was not really open to that, even though I love God, I love the Lord to the best of my ability, but I didn't understand what it meant to walk in the will of God and to
Mhm.
relinquish my will for His will, so
Yeah.
that everything that I had could be of the greatest use,
Mhm.
in rebuilding the kingdom. I didn't
Yeah.
get that at the time. I didn't have that knowing, so I had to learn it the hard way. And so, because I had to learn the hard way, what I believe with everything in me is that everything that you go through in this life, you can use it as your currency. Not
Mm.
only can you rebuild your life
Mhm.
based upon the lessons that you learn and those mistakes that you make, but everybody in your sphere of influence can gain benefit from it. And that's what I've done with my Rewrite Your Life Story program.
Mhm.
And I'm committed to helping other people rise up from whatever adversity it is. And it doesn't have to be negative. It could be just that that there's something more for you, but you're in this place and you can't ever figure out how to make the shift.
Mhm.
You have responsibilities, you have children, you have households, you have kids' educations, you have student loan debts. So how are
Mhm.
you ever going to make the shift?
Yes.
And
Yes.
God
Yes.
is faithful. He can show you how to make the shift. It's going to take
Yes.
time to take intention. And that's
Mhm.
what my program helps women specifically to do. I've coached men before, but my niche is really for women.
I love that. I
Mhm.
love that. I love the whole setup and how God has just transitioned you to, build in the experience that you have. And, everybody has that life journey,
Mhm.
and now you're at the place where you desire to be and where God desires you to be as well.
Yeah, and it took some years. It
Yeah.
wasn't an overnight thing because I had to put the pieces, what was really
Mhm.
going on. I really had to find out what it is that I needed to learn in this process. I spent a lot of time feeling sorry for myself, not even understanding that's what I was doing, because I
Mhm.
let the unfairness of life get the best of me,
Mm.
not understanding that it's all a part of the process. It's a part of the
Right.
process.
Yes, yes, yes.
And so I fought it for a long time.
Mhm.
I did the whole why me thing for a long time
Mhm.
until I finally, the light bulb came on, is that not only why not me, who else
Mhm.
would you suggest?
Right. Right.
But the part of it is like, okay, so this did happen. Where
Mhm.
did I make the missteps? Because when God puts dreams in us, it's for a reason.
Mm.
It's not that we're just to abandon everything. There might be another strategy you need to take. There might be some new freshness and some new angles based upon your new skill set. There are
Mhm.
many things that I could have avoided a lot of the damage I done. One, by having a life plan to begin with, to start to work with, but
Mhm.
also by doing my due diligence. My personality, I don't like to research. I just want to, if I get something, I want to get on with it. I want to do it. But when you get at a level, you
Mhm.
really have to do the things that you don't want to do so that you can build the strongest
Yeah.
foundation and have the education to do it in a manner of excellence.
Mhm.
And a lot would have been revealed to me had I researched more. How if I
Mhm.
understood more about contracts. I signed a terrible contract with a company
Mhm.
when I went into the insurance business, but it was because I really didn't. And it wasn't an illegal contract. When I did due diligence after the fact, there was nothing illegal about what they did. It was immoral, but it
Mm.
was not illegal. But
Right.
if I had done my due diligence ahead of time,
Mhm.
God would have been able to speak to me more in terms of the knowledge I would have gained.
Mm. Wow. Awesome. 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 I'm enjoying the whole story, the whole testimony.
Mhm.
Let's see. How can people the services that you provide?
Mhm.
Let's go through those. The services that you provide again.
Okay, so um, and I have something that I've just developed a Rewrite Your Life Story program. So
Mhm.
if you go to www.liveshacklefree.com,
Mhm.
that's my website, or if you send me an email at info@liveshacklefree.com, I can give you some specifics on the group coaching program itself that I have for women, and
Mhm.
it's the Rewrite Your Life Story program. But
Mhm.
also, I have a free webinar that's coming up on Facebook for women. I have a Facebook group called Women Over 40 Rewrite Your Life Story. If you join
Mm.
that group, you'll be
Mhm.
able to partake in the webinar that I'm having on Tuesday, the 25th of January.
Okay.
And I'll have a time selection for that. But you need to be a member of the group
Mhm.
to reach out and ask for membership to the group, and we'll accept you into that group, and then you can hear the details of that program. I also have a book that is available for purchase
Okay.
that is called, and I have it here. Am I able to show the book?
You can, I believe.
I can put
Just
it
put
up
it up.
here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Mhm.
I have it here. So it's called, and it's available on Amazon. If you look it under my name, I have a way out spelling on my name there. But the book is called From Golden Handcuffs to Divine Purpose,
Mhm.
Transitioning from Your Unhappy Place to God's Best. And a
Mm.
lot of it has to do with me sharing a lot of my missteps and not understanding how I was out of alignment in
Mhm.
terms of what I believe God wanted me to do and what I did to make a lot of the correction.
Yeah.
So
Hold the book up again so we can see it.
it's here.
Okay. Very
It's
good.
what it looks like. It's 14.95
Mhm.
on Amazon, and you can get that book.
Okay.
And lastly, I have a nonprofit
Mhm.
called Beyond the Shackles. Through there, I do. If anybody is interested in prison ministry, I do
Mhm.
a Zoom training on prison ministry itself and developing organizations and training them to prepare themselves to go inside the prison um,
Mhm.
for ministry if that's something that they desire to do.
Yeah.
I make that training available for groups, and I do that on Zoom, especially with the pandemic. The prisons are just opening up, and I do all kind of things inside the prison. I have educational programming that I send volunteers in to do. I also am partnered with a theater company, and we
Mm.
take in motivational plays and do programs inside the prison for the incarcerated men and women.
Wow.
So we do that, and we try to be creative in how to give encouragement and hope and positive messaging, and that's what we're about. So, and then there's also if people want to donate, they can also donate. It's a tax write-off. It's
Okay.
tax deductible, and that particular website is not here. But if you put in beyondtheshackles.com, you can pull up
Mhm.
that website and you can see the nonprofit side of what I do. But that's everything in a nutshell.
Wow, I love that. I love that. And it so everything came back to a God-centered circle, that you
Hmm.
are on a whole nother dimension, and then he's positioned you to help those along the way.
Hmm. Hmm.
I
And
love it.
and it's interesting because if you'd have asked me that this is what I was going to be doing
Right,
for my life, I would have said you were crazy
right.
at a time before everything happened to me.
Yeah.
But that situation that I went through, it really opened my
Mm.
eyes. And my prayer is that nobody has to lose everything like I did. That was hard headed Euvonka that had to learn that way. I hope you can learn from my mistakes. But
Mm-hmm.
you can't be afraid to sacrifice and give up because when you have a dream and you have something in your heart, you're going to have to give something up. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't mean that you have to turn in everything and do nothing, but it may mean that you're going to have to make some changes and some life shifts and trust that God will honor your decision to
Mm-hmm.
give up what you're used to and to change your spending or to downsize your lifestyle so
Yeah.
that you can even afford to take a risk. Some of
Mm-hmm.
us are so cash strapped because of living the day to day. We
Mm-hmm.
can't, we're paying for houses and cars and this
Mm-hmm.
and that and there's no room to even obey
Mm-hmm.
the leading that we have to do anything. And the truth of the matter is that it's about sacrifice. You're going to have to give up to get. So the question is,
Mm-hmm.
what are you willing to get up to make your dream come true? And that's something that I can help people to determine. They make the decision, but I can help guide people through that path so that they can come up with a plan to do the sacrificing that they need to fulfill purpose.
Love that. Love it. Love it. Love it. So leave us with some words of encouragement and anything
Okay.
else you can share before we need to leave.
Yes. Okay. What I really want people to understand is that no matter what you have gone through, every single thing is not wasted.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that you've ever experienced, every heartbreak, every disappointment, every loss, things that you didn't understand can be turned around for your good success, but you have to be willing to change your perspective. Wayne
Mm-hmm.
Dyer had it right when he says, when you change the way you look at things, the
Mm-hmm.
things you look at change.
Mm.
And so you have to be in a place where you say, how do I need to look at some things differently? And then come up with a plan
Yeah.
to do it. And it doesn't have to be with me. Get with someone. Sometimes we try to do stuff in a vacuum on our own. And
Mm-hmm.
really, it requires at times for us to reach out and invest in ourselves. Invest in ourselves so that we do what's necessary to say, no more, we're not going to have the same thing. The one of the
Mm-hmm.
thing about this pandemic, with people being, locked up and not being able to go,
Mm-hmm.
here and there, and it really people have been forced into a different way of looking at things.
Yeah.
I think initially they thought things were going to go
Yeah.
back,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, go back to the same way. And the thing is that we have a new normal. We have a new way
Yeah.
that we're living. But if the realization has come to you, it's like, I don't want the life that I had, because that's what happened to many people. They
Mm-hmm.
went through this and they said, you know what? I don't want that. I realize how unhappy I've
Yeah.
been and how fruitful it's been. And, I have, people in my life that they didn't realize they didn't even know their children. It's
Mm.
like, I finally get to know my kids. I'm finding out what they really believe and
Yeah.
learn in school.
Yeah.
So there are some things that people are wanting to do differently. And what I want to tell people is that whatever it is that you want to do, you can just you have to just be intentional about it and be
Yeah.
open to the move of God and what he wants to do in your life.
Mm-hmm.
And if you need to let go of some things, Les Brown has a saying that said, let go or be dragged. I know what that means. Like, you gotta let go. Because I was being dragged and I wasn't gonna let mediocrity drag me any longer. And you
Yeah.
don't have to let it drag you any longer too. If you identify with what I'm saying,
Mm-hmm.
don't allow the disappointment of life to keep you
Yes.
behind the
Yes.
8 ball any longer. Get your head out of the sand, look at your situation for what it is. And if you need help, reach out to a coach or trainer. You might even feel like you need therapy.
Mm-hmm.
There's a get you a good therapist that, by referral, trustworthy. There's um, a referral source that I use for my clients when they get into some things and realize maybe they need more than what I can as a minister or as a coach provide. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty skilled at determining, in my wheelhouse, where coaching ends and where therapy should begin. So I
Mm.
will refer
That's good.
out. And if that's something that you need to do, just do it.
Yeah.
Whatever you need to support you, bet
Yeah.
on you. And you think about
Mm-hmm.
so many people, you think about your children, you think
Yeah.
about the other people in your family, you think about people on your job. Think about yourself and don't feel guilty about being selfish about wanting to fulfill your hopes and your dreams. And
Mm.
get after the business of fulfilling purpose and making a mark on this world before you leave here and go and meet the Father.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
Amen.
I love it. I love it.
Mhm.
I love it. Look, you guys stay connected. She has some great things that's going on. I'm excited, definitely with prison ministry, and then the women rewriting your life. I'm loving that, loving,
Mhm.
loving
Yeah,
that.
join the Facebook group.
I think, well, it's on my Facebook. I mean, I got to
Okay.
answer the questions. I saw I got a little couple of questions, so
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I can't do it
Please
right
answer
now.
the questions.
I got to answer the question. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do as soon as we get off. I'm gonna join and stay
Uh-huh.
connected. And if you have anything, feel free to post it on my page so other people can know as well when you
Okay,
get ready.
great.
Yeah, when you get ready to do those things, because that's definitely needed. Oh my goodness, this was great. All right, so
I
listen, you
had a
guys,
great time.
I love it. I love what you're doing. And I'm just grateful. I'm grateful to meet great people that's making it happen, making a difference in the community, changing lives. Because we only have one life to live. So
That's
you're
right.
that person that's in the middle. Say, hey, you can change. This has happened. That's life. That was your
Mhm.
journey. But we are here to help prison ministries, women rewrite your life. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
And I want to thank you for reaching out to me to be a guest on your show. I'm
Yeah.
forever, eternally grateful. I don't take any of these opportunities for granted. There's a lot of people that you could have asked, and you chose to ask me. And
Oh,
I
bless
thank you, and I thank your listeners. If you stuck around and you listened to me, I appreciate you,
you. Yeah.
and I appreciate any feedback, any of you all, any questions that you would have.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Wonderful, wonderful. All right, I'm going to put your information back up there one more time. That's the website and her email address. Make sure you guys stay connected. This is Dr. Farabee, and she is willing and ready to help you if you are ready to shift and move to the next dimension in your life as well. And she's going to be posting things actually on my page as well when she gets ready to, when different things come out. So make sure you guys stay connected. Thank you again, Dr. Farabee, for coming on. I am Deloris Williams with,
Thank you.
you're welcome, with Divine Connections. Anything else you want to share before we leave?
That's it. I just want to
Okay.
thank you all. God bless you.
Absolutely. All right. Hold tight. Thank you for coming again. I am Deloris Williams with Divine Connections. Make sure you guys stay connected to the number one divine connector, which is Jesus Christ. All right. Hold tight.
Hey, we've got exciting news from Divine Connections Marketing Services. Now you can create your own custom video commercial for your business or organization. It's time for you to win. Your product or service is someone's solution. So get the attention of your potential customers now. Choose from a 30 or 60-second commercial today. Just email us at divineconnectionsmagazine@gmail.com and we can get started. Connect today and let's get started making your custom video commercial now. Divine Connections magazine. Get major exposure for your business. Is someone looking for your service? Do you need networking? Are you a gospel artist or a ministry? Do you have a major event that you want to promote? Divine Connections magazine has the solution for you. We can distribute to residents, businesses, churches, and online. Don't miss this opportunity to expand your marketing locally and around the world. Find out more about us at divineconnectionsmagazine.com. Get your spot in the next issue of Divine Connections magazine by emailing us for details at divineconnectionsmagazine@gmail.com.
Make sure to like us on Facebook at Divine Connections Marketing. Follow us on Instagram at Divine Connections.